dominated the world have used money to rule it and have ruled it in their own interest. It looks at a world economic system that has no regard for the poor, that has no regard for the small nations, that has no regard for the poor of the small nations. And the policy is a dignified policy, is not a violent policy, is not a policy of guns. It's a very honorable policy, but it is a very clear policy. It is a policy that calls the poor of the world to stand together, to stand firm together, to struggle together, to struggle for change, to struggle for justice, to struggle through organization, to struggle through will, to struggle through determination, to struggle to build a new kind of world in which your children and mine will walk with more dignity, with better housing, with better opportunity, with better prices, with better response from the World Monetary System. That is the world to which I call you. That is the world for which I struggle, and no power will turn me back from that world. And comrades, if you go and walk with me, if you go and step with me, if you go and move with me, we're moving as warriors. We're moving in determination. We're moving to struggle. We're moving to change that world. No power will turn us back.
Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green, dog. Me no chow-chow. No. Ha, 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 ho, ho. Who you know?
But if change is what we really want to see, ladies and gentlemen, then we must rise up. We must unite. We must advocate. We cannot remain silent. Where are the young men, the young women, the men, the women, the boys, the girls who will put aside political divide and do what is best for Jamaica? Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. Even our pledge, our national pledge, says before God and all mankind, we cannot see a better Jamaica unless we return to the foot of the cross. Jamaica under God must increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity, and play our part.
If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
I said I'm happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to his hand. Yes, mommy, I see you. Yes, the journey's almost over. Shut up. And the battle is nearly won. And I have a feeling. I have a feeling in my heart. The best is yet to come. Slide up it over there, so wanna ready to get, wanna get up now, man. I feel mad in this place. Let's go. I am happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to his. Over there, so I said the journey's almost over. I know the battle is nearly won, and I have a feeling in my heart the best is yet. Come on, church. I said the best is yet to come. When I walk through heaven's gates, yeah, I said the first time I'll see Jesus, I can hardly wait. And he showed me to a mansion and said, child, this is your home. And I have a feeling in my heart. You know this one? Listen, Chuck, tell me who.
Oh, you know.
I want to hear the angels singing. I want to be in that number. I want to hear that trumpet song. We have done now. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear archangel. Oh, I want to hear when my name is called. I want to hear. Everybody know. I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. Watch out now. I want to see the angel marching. I want to be in that number. I want to hear. I want to hear that trumpet song. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear. God bless her now. I want to hear when the name is called. I want to hear. Everybody do so. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be here. Get something and wave it. Get something and wave it. Get something and. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be happy. Walk out, Christian, walk out, Christian. I only live my life to please. Send me rocking for the road and the star on my phone. I only live my life to please. Live up my life. Come on, man, we have done, man. Everybody so. Live up my life Jesus. This is silent night. What a holy night. But your virgin mother and child. Holy, so tender. Talk to me now. But sweetly, God bless you, God bless you. Let me tell some people, I know one prayer we pray. We pray.
Blood and fire, comrades who are in jungle tonight. On a know that the word is love. Comrades, me come with a speech, but it's a different speech me have to give tonight. But before I go into that, we have been saying all night that young people know say time come. And I want to bring up a young man who has looked for himself, him read for himself, him search for himself, and when him done, him realize that the only choice he could choose is the People's National Party. And I want to welcome Comrade Perry.
Hold on. We don't have much time. When I say time, you say come. Time. Senator Murray, somebody asked me, Perry, why aren't you a Labourite? Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho. Who ya know? Underpants, Paolo. We the gal in the
Hold on, cut in, man, hold on.
Me coulda never green.
Hold on, no DJ, man, hold on. I don't have much time. The next Prime Minister, let me shake your hands, so big up yourself, Mark Golding, Jensek, and brother, Dayton Campbell, doctor. Listen, in 1938, the People's National Party was formed out of the vision to help the poor people. It was born out of restlessness of the people seeking for better. And I believe that the People's National Party continues to be the answer for the people. Can I hear an amen? Hold on. In 1995, under the auspices of PJ Patterson, the most honorable, there was a revitalization and an extension of the new National Youth Service Program, which gave young people the opportunity to earn commandment church. It gave people the opportunity to better themselves. I don't have much time, but hear what? I hear the other people them say, you must choose Jamaica, but you can't choose Jamaica without choosing the people. God bless you.
Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho. Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow.
You have your blood, comrades.
Comrades, I want to let you know that young man is the former guild president at the University of the West Indies. That is the kind of young people that we attract in the People's National Party.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people. This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country. I have said it before and I will tell you again. Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
Lightning and thunder for the JLP. Oh. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the housing trust for people I go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. No war fit the use, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you something. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. Always see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the housing trust for people I go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. No war fit the use, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it.
Perspective with Perry Cummings Jr. Big up yourself. The best is yet to come. This is my perspective. Telling you my perspective. This is my perspective to bring change that I feel me objective. Scandal after scandal. Look where Jamaica come to. Them a rob the money and a thief a lot too. Election tactics, what a disgrace. Them cut off ribbon and the place no safe. It's a prime minister, are you me a address? Police a kill off the youth if you check. Talking about the way country are the best. But though this a my perspective, telling you my perspective. This is my perspective to bring change that I feel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A pleasant evening to you all. I hope that you are doing well. It is Saturday. It is the 9th of May 2026. And we have quite a lot to give the Lord thanks for. Well, I believe the Sabbath is over, but happy Sabbath for all those who had a wonderful time in the synagogue. Yes, blessings to all the Sabbath keepers, the Adventists. Blessings to you all. God is really a good God, and we have quite a lot to celebrate. We have life. And where we have life, we have hope. Where there's life, there is hope. So I am definitely grateful to be on the perspective tonight. Please, as you enter, like up the live if you're watching and you realize that you're unable to participate in the comment section. It's because you're not a subscriber, and we want you to subscribe because we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. I believe we're at 9.33k. We are growing, and we want to give the Lord thanks for that. Let us take a minute, ladies and gentlemen, to give the Lord
thanks for his mercies.
Oh, after all, this life is over, and my lover here is ended, and I climb upon the mountain top, so tall, looking over in the city that my Savior, Lord, is preparing. Give me grace that I would make it after all. Oh, I myself, I cannot make it, but I know He's there to help me. If to Him in earnest prayer I keep on calling. Oh, keep on trusting and believing all the words I heard Him whisper. Just a few more days to labor after all. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with us. Listen, we have a few things to touch tonight. We won't spend the entire Saturday night, but we do have a few things to touch on. Please to like up the live. Let me know where you're viewing from. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. And while I will be wishing all the mothers a big happy Mother's Day tomorrow, I want to big up all the mothers from tonight. Big up all the mothers, the grandmothers on the platform. Let me know where you're viewing from so we can dive right into tonight's discussion. We have a few things to touch on. Norwalk CT watching from East Portland, Woodbridge, Ontario, Rosemount, St. James, Southfield, St. Elizabeth, Silo, St. Elizabeth. Blessings, 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 blessings. Come on in. We have Maypen, Clarendon, Mountain View, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. Montreal East in East Portland. Blessings to you all. New York, Listowel, Ontario, Canada. Blessings to you in New York, Canada. Somebody saying that the sound is low. Am I low, ladies? Is the sound low, ladies and gentlemen? I hope not. UK, Manchester, Mona, Canada, Silent Hill, Clarendon, blessings. Panama City, Florida, blessings, blessings, blessings. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if the sound isn't low, then I believe that person needs to turn up their device. Louidersville, St. Catherine, blessings to you all. Come on, we're inviting you all to come along because we're having a glorious time. Yes, man. Blessings over there in Baltimore, New York, Sashina, Beckford. You know the thing going on. Bay Road, Westmoreland, blessings. Mandeville, I hear a lot is happening. Bay Road, Westmoreland, blessings. Ulrich Morris, Delaware, Newcastle, Crooked River, Clarendon, Nersha, blessings. Florida is in the house. Panama City, Delaware, Shanika, Carell, Yvonne Riley, Donna Thompson, Shanika, Doreen, Sister Stedman, Louisa, Ian Nathan, Althea Thompson, blessings, blessings. Blast 1713, Curacao, Duane Park. Blessings, blessings, the whole massive. Greetings to you all. Let us get into the show tonight.
Tough done. You must go to prison. And you must go to prison. Vaz, you must go to prison. Mackenzie, you must go to prison. What a mess. 40 billion in a debt. Andrew, a talk and not certified yet. The green politicians, them afraid of wholeness. Nationwide, them a talk and sweat. Yellow bus scandal, procurement breach. Head a figure roll or them drown in a beach. Don't stop talk, Perry, don't stop preach. And Marie mode nasty, you want some bleach. Lord God, perspective, big up yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember to like up the live. Remember to share, subscribe as we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. I believe we can get to 10,000 subscribers before the month is through. That's what I believe. So we are believing God for that. Well, let's kick things off with I believe this is good to highlight. For those who didn't know, there is this very popular streamer that I believe is probably still in Jamaica, but yesterday he did his tour of certain parts of the country. That is Ishowspeed. I believe he would have highlighted aspects of our culture, dance, music, food, the different spots that you can go, especially if you're a tourist. A lot of persons said that this is nothing to be excited about. Well, the truth is, this young man has over 50 million, I believe, subscribers on YouTube, is it? And millions of views on different platforms. And it has really and truly, he's on a Caribbean tour. I believe he was in Trinidad, he was in other Caribbean countries, and he did his stop in Jamaica. Yes, the potholes show. A lot of things were shown to the international community, and I'm happy that persons got an opportunity to see the state of our country. Regardless, a lot of the local streamers and content creators, they got an opportunity to meet him. I believe this did well for our country in terms of publicity. Too much publicity is never a bad thing. Listen to what happened yesterday.
What some may view as a frivolous activity is Jamaica being displayed to millions of viewers around the world in real time. It's why so many officials were in attendance, including the Minister of Culture and Entertainment. Ishowspeed's Caribbean tour makes an exciting stop in Jamaica. Romarda Lyons tells us more.
When traditional media focus on matters not considered to be hard news, they are hit with the monotonous. Slow news day? Well, today, it's rather speedy. Millions of tourists visit Jamaica weekly, but there's something quite spectacular about one with over 100 million followers across YouTube and Instagram, live streaming his tour across the corporate area. Now, anyone on social media following his tour across other Caribbean islands would know that the race for the best KFC in the region was hot.
What you put in this?
All the best, all the love and spice and everything in it.
Love and spice.
All the love.
This got flavor.
Well, just like on the track, Jamaica finished in the #1 spot.
Huh?
The
only one? Damn! Hey! Whoa! Whoa! My dad rated this the best KFC. Oh my God. That's good.
Complete fanfare from children to adults. His stream began with a tour of Emancipation Park with beauty queen and TV host Yendi Phillips. A rich display of Jamaican art.
I got it! ahead, chat.
And culture. There were cameos from reggae and dancehall acts like Jesse Royal and Valiant. Then biking through New Kingston with a massive security detail. Another element to the Jamaican experience, fashion. A new shoe, but the currency isn't the Jamaican dollar, it's promotion.
Yeah, how much you want for these? How much?
It's good.
Hey, Ames.
On us, bro.
Pay for these sneakers real quick.
On us, bro.
Huh?
It's on you. Just give them the shout out.
Shout
out, bro. Shout them on. Yeah.
Oh, nothing?
Signature style, bro.
Hey, man, shout out to Signature Styles for...
Another culturally significant stop at Haile Selassie High School, where he was welcomed by dancehall giant Sean Paul. Back on the road, Hail Cream couldn't stop her need for speed. Some would say it's a dog-eat-dog world, but it's moments like these that bring laughter. Then hand in hand with the skillful trade of craft, his first brush with a strict Jamaican mother.
Bro, the blade's right there.
And this is almost a rite of passage for any visitor who steps foot in Jamaica.
I'm trying to get my Jamaican accent cool.
Bottom roll.
Bottom roll.
Top roll.
Top roll. Now, chat, now we're going to the bottom of the roll.
Yeah.
I see. Come on, chat. It's Emmy.
All roads led to downtown Kingston. In his eyes,
now this feels like a whole different side of Jamaica. What the hell? Looks like New Orleans.
And if he didn't feel welcomed before, a reminder. Pandemonium, superstar traffic blocking proportions.
W Jamaica!
Those familiar with Speed know he's a major fan of football legend Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, football fans collide.
You are? Yeah! Oh, really? Oh my God! You're a Ronaldo fan! Oh, he's a Ronaldo fan! He's a Ronaldo fan! You're a Ronaldo fan! That's great, man!
And Dante, you couldn't be there, but we hope you see this.
Dante!
Yeah, my son is a subscriber to you, love you.
Hey, shout out Dante!
Only them never get to come to me.
Shout out Dante!
Next up, Tasty in Crossroads, and Jamaican cuisine wins again. We've all heard this one before. Speed at the National Stadium. He was greeted by Culture and Entertainment Minister Olivia Babsy-Grange and later participated in a 4x100 meter relay with high school track students. Outside the stadium, dancehall legend Beanie Man.
I'm drinking rum and Red Bull. I'm drinking Red Bull.
Next up, Bob Marley Museum.
Wait, you Bob Marley's granddaughter?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'll give you a personal tour.
Okay.
His journey continued, but we leave it here for today. Romarda Lyons, TVJ News.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Ishowspeed in Jamaica. Yvonne Riley, I'm going to get to it because you know this is the perspective and we're going to share our perspective. I have absolutely no problem with Ishowspeed coming to Jamaica to partake of our culture. It will do well for Jamaica. Nobody is against that. He got an opportunity to put Jamaica on the map even more. I have no problem with Ishowspeed, this international influencer, millions of followers, millions of people watching him. I have absolutely no problem with Ishowspeed coming to Jamaica. But he's from the United States. But just like the Sagicor Sigma run, just like Carnival, and I hope persons don't say, Perry, you're pessimistic, and Perry, you sound too dark and gloomy. I'm not being a party pooper, ladies and gentlemen. But what I'm saying is that these people, they prefer to flock our streets to meet a streamer, and I am not belittling his profession. This young man is a millionaire, ladies and gentlemen. He has all the money in the world at his age to do whatsoever he wants to do. He was out here with his parents. They are very proud of him. This man has been toured, I believe he has visited 190 countries across the world. So let us not take him lightly. But he has big endorsements. Very, 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 very influential guy, especially on the young people. I have no problem with Ishowspeed coming here, and I would want him to come back again. He's a streamer, Danet Harriet. He streams just as though I'm streaming on YouTube. He does that as well, but he does it by he travels across the world, and he goes to different countries and experience their culture, and he puts different places on the map, and he gets a lot of views for it. He's doing an awesome job. I have no problem with Ishowspeed. My problem is with the people of Jamaica and what we look at as priority. Look at the amount of people who came out to meet Ishowspeed. The amount of dancehall artists, Popcorn, Valiant, Sean Paul, all of them. We saw personalities like Yendi Phillips and all of those persons. I don't think they are Jamaican parents, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has like Jamaican roots. You see so many influencers and content creators coming out to be around this guy. Pandemonium in our country to meet Ishowspeed. Shenzia, Beanie Man, Ding Dong, and many other influential voices and personalities. I want persons to understand the narrative that I want to communicate this evening. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, and allow me to take my time tonight, because I need to communicate. Short park, Valiant. All of these influential personalities, influencers, could come together. Yaksta. Thank you, Jackie Walford. So many and hundreds of Jamaicans came out to unite to meet this guy. No problem with Ishowspeed. I am actually inspired by his story. I did a little research. His mother didn't actually want him to do streaming. She saw it as a waste of time. Like any caring mother, you saw your son being around the computer for hours. It looks unproductive until he got rich and he believed in himself. He became a millionaire at the age of 16. Very inspirational story. I have no problem with Ishowspeed. But look how easily the people of this country can prioritize something like this visit over what I believe are more pressing matters that Jamaica need to unite on. You don't see this type of unity and mobility regarding the corruption that Jamaica is experiencing. You don't see this type. Look at all the artists that came out. all the influencers and the content creators and the people on social media, everybody came out, which tells me that Jamaican people have no problem coming out of their homes to flock the streets. There is no issue with Jamaican people uniting, because clearly there was unity yesterday. Let me take my time, ladies and gentlemen. There is no problem with Jamaican people coming together to rally out and to unite and to put differences aside. We saw labor rights and PNP. We saw dancehall artists who were on the GLP campaign meeting. We saw PNP dancehall artists who meet. We know Beanie Man a big comrade. We know Valiant a big supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party. We saw Popcorn a big PNP artist. But I have to communicate this tonight because I've been saying this for months now. The problem with Jamaica is not whether or not they are able to come out and unite. It is what the people of this country deem as priority. Look at the state of Jamaica. People in Kingston and St. Andrew could come out, block road, flock the streets, create pandemonium, travel with this young man, brilliant young man. I like his spirit. For months, they have been tracking the movements of Ishowspeed. They anticipate the Minister of Culture. Look at the excitement that Jamaica created yesterday. Coming out, pulling out all the stops. But there is no solidarity. There is no solidarity among our Jamaicans when it comes to more pressing matters. When last have you seen a national protest regarding the state of Westmoreland and how the government has been intentionally sabotaging the people of the West? Where is the national protest about that? They would have never taken Ishowspeed and his media team to the West, where people are still living under tarpaulins. They don't carry him to Westmoreland. They keep him in Kingston. They bring him to Bob Marley Museum. They bring him to National Stadium. They bring him to KFC. KFC is not even a Jamaican brand. Yes, Jamaica love KFC. They bring him to them. They bring him to the nice places. They bring him to the, and I expect them to bring him to the nice places because the aim is to promote Jamaica. So I'm not against that, but I'm just trying to let you see the hypocrisy of our people. We've been hearing of protest after protest in this country. People are suffering, terrible roads, no water, thousands of people without light. This NARA bill that we will touch on a little later in this show shows us every day that this government has no intention of helping the people of this country. There is no mention of building back Jamaica due to Hurricane Melissa in the NARA bill. It is just very broad. For all we know, this NARA will never address the problems that the people are experiencing now because of the hurricane. Where is the national mobility like what we saw yesterday? But people create the excitement. But there is no solidarity. There is no unity with what is happening in this nation. Jamaican people, they are focused on the wrong thing. Look at when Marvin Edgar went to Steerfield St. Anne. After the police officers went in, nobody went. Where is the outcry? I wish we saw this level of excitement to demonstrate when the Minister of National Security told us that to wear body-worn cameras is a crazy idea. I wish we saw this level of unity. When we've been hearing that 37 police fatal shootings happened in April, that has 30 days. No transparency, no accountability. With all the probe that you see in the probing, nothing is coming out of these police fatal shootings. But the country, when it comes to these matters of our own nation, that is affecting our children, the government cut path funding. In a time when so many of our children are suffering simply because they were affected by Hurricane Melissa. A lot of them, their parents have not gotten back on their feet. Livelihoods destroyed. So many things are happening. Taxes, $18 billion will be collected from the poor and the vulnerable in the form of taxes. You don't hear something like that, ladies and gentlemen, should have caused the entire country to come out of their homes, to go into the streets and to protest. But that is not the concern. People want to come out for likes and for views because big streamer come at Jamaica.
So them on fire. And if the enemy on fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam.
Which tells me, ladies and gentlemen, that Jamaica is in a very... I want us to understand what I'm trying to communicate tonight. It tells me, ladies and gentlemen, that Jamaica is on a very dark, dark path. I saw many poor people yesterday. I know a lot of them hungry. A lot of them in downtown Kingston. Not discriminating. It's just the truth. Only power we are poor people. I saw a lot of people who I know have been affected by this corrupt administration. And you saw them running down moving vehicles with Ishowspeed in the procession. So it tells me, ladies and gentlemen, that there is no problems with Jamaicans coming out of their homes, flocking our streets, standing in solidarity on certain matters. But it is what they deem as important. That is what they will come out and support. So you're telling me, with this government ending an over 50-year-old Cuban medical program that has benefited so many Jamaicans, so many Cubans, you're telling me that that wasn't something for Jamaica to flock the streets about? Where were the phones and the cameras and the streamers and the content creators to come out and to utilize their platforms and to say, no, enough is enough. Jamaica should have never made this decision. Where were the influencers to come out and break the silence? You are the people with the platforms. You are the people who thousands and millions of people are following. You have a responsibility to shed light to very important matters, especially for you who are not openly politically aligned. I understand. When I come out and talk like this, people expect me to come out and talk like this because they know that I'm a supporter of the PNP, though I am speaking the truth. But for you content creators and influencers, streamers, artists, we shouldn't only hear your voices when it is election time and it is time for you to demand your pay for come on stage and sing. Now is the time to hear the voices of these artists. Music is powerful. Be like the Bob Marley, who would have spoken out against the injustice and the system and the mental suppression. Put it in your music. Call out the leadership that is failing. Nobody is doing that. Nobody cares. So this is what Jamaica has become. This is what Jamaica has become, ladies and gentlemen. And when I saw it, I said to myself, Jamaica is in a very sad state. And this is the reason why this administration will continue to get away with murder. This is the reason why this corrupt administration can get away with so much in this country. You know why? Because they've successfully sedated the people of this country to not address matters of corruption, to not to address matters of irregularities and lack of oversight, to not address matters of lacking accountability and transparency. This government has sedated the people to only come out for just excitement. But the very serious issues, nobody's coming out to talk about that. Nobody's coming out to talk about that. It is a very sad state that Jamaica is in. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I saw it yesterday, and I saw all of these artists. I saw all of our Jamaicans come, and I'm saying, so how people are making it sound like, say, Jamaican people lazy. It's not lazy, Jamaican people lazy. They have accepted corruption. They love the corruption. It's must love or not love it. I can just imagine what Nanny of the Maroons would have been doing today. What Paul Bogle would have been doing today. What Sam Sharp would have been doing today. There are so many things that Jamaica could have united on. Jamaica could have united and flock our streets, turn on our cameras, go live, so that the world could see that we are not satisfied with the current leadership. When I saw this government turn around and tax the daylight out of Jamaican people who don't have roof, who don't have food nor water nor road after a hurricane, when I saw this government say $18 billion them a take out on the pocket, that should have been a moment where everybody put aside them political biases and differences and say, no, Mr. Holness, no, Favor Williams, we will not accept this. No protests. No protests on the new taxes. The people have become so blinded because of this tribal political nature that we have in this country, that they come and tell us, say, Perry, a chat, a taxes run the country. Tax us some more, Andrew Holness. Tax us some more, Favor Williams, because we are labor right. Tax me some more, and them suffering, you know. Them suffering. No protests. When we look at how the government made big speeches last year about minimum wage, and at a time when, if there was ever a time for you to increase the minimum wage in any meaningful way, would have been now. With all that is happening, the Prime Minister put only $1,000 on it. No protests, no outrage. Police officers going on high-risk operations. Nobody won cameras. The Minister of National Security rejected body-worn cameras completely, though the Prime Minister of this country, as early as January of this year, told us that to wear body-worn cameras would not have been an option. It would have been mandatory. We're hearing two different things coming from the same administration. The confusion there is unprecedented. With the type of the rate that we're seeing, so many of our young men dropping out at the hand of the police officers. Nobody wants cameras. Mothers are crying. The babies are growing up without fathers because the police officers are saying that they are criminals. And all we are asking for is a proper rollout, an intentional rollout of the body-worn cameras. We can't see any. Jamaican people can flock the streets of downtown Kingston, they can full National Stadium to meet a streamer that is not going to live in Jamaica, a streamer that is coming to go, a streamer that will make because he has made millions of dollars from all of those views, you know. All of those streams, those views on his YouTube channel. Not sure if he was live on Instagram, but I'm sure he has a Twitch account. He has made millions of dollars by visiting Jamaica. What did we get out of it? Not saying that we won't get an increase in tourism. I'm not saying that people won't come here because Ishowspeed came here. But who really benefited from Ishowspeed visit to Jamaica? Let's reason. Who really benefited? Because all of those streams went to one account. Ishowspeed is not staying here. He's going back to his mansion in the States to stream, or he's looking to go to another country to stream again. Jamaica is still left with a corrupt administration, an uncertified prime minister. Can't tell us the source of his wealth. A corrupt government is what we are left with, who moved heaven and earth, it would seem, to pass this corrupt bill where power is centralized in one person. The Prime Minister will choose the CEO who is only answerable to him. No oversight, no board. Yet it is the bill, the NARA, that will be managing billions of dollars with no oversight. And Jamaica couldn't unite and protest against that. So a guy came here, met all the celebrities, met all the local influencers, made millions of US dollars off brand Jamaica again. Made millions of dollars off of the brand Jamaica again. And him gone now. But the international community and the tourists will remember that a tourist fell from a balcony. I saw it go, and there was no ambulance to rush the tourist to a hospital. That is what will be in the news. You know what people will continue to remember? The dilapidated hospitals, the poor health sector, the disgraceful roads, the Spark program that has failed. That is what the world will remember Jamaica for. Because it doesn't matter how the Prime Minister is strategically trying to market Jamaica. You think that this Caribbean tour just happened so? They are trying to market Jamaica as the place to be under the Andrew Holness-led administration. But it doesn't matter how much PR you do. The truth is the truth. And the truth is, this country has failed under the Andrew Holness-led administration. Let's take our first break. Soon come.
Where you with the JLP I go on with? Perspective family, pick up yourself. Blood and fire comrades. I and I is asking for a change. We have to mash down Babylon, time come now. Andrew them a wrap up the money like wow. Them turn taxpayers in a big cash cow. The people them work for nothing, big fiasco. Time come for people fi start unite. Time come fi protect the human right. Time come JLP no have no plan. The plan is to kill, destroy, steal and rob. The devil is loose, my friend, and he loves the color green. Hey, yeah.
And Protherapy, we are here to help you to bring ultimate relaxation to your feet. Our hot stone, Swedish and deep tissue massage services are here to help you to get rid of tensions, minor swellings and aches and pain, increase flexibility and circulation. If you are having any heart or circulatory diseases, then this might not be for you. Reach out to us and let's see if you can secure yourself with a foot massage for as low as $4,500. Thank you for choosing Pearl Therapy, the healing hub.
Are you frustrated with your skincare? Are you tired of acne, blemishes, scars, sagging skin, wrinkles, discoloration? Why not enjoy our wide array of products, from skin, hair, and personal care? Place your frustration on our shoulders, and we will get you smiling again. The power of our products are in our formulation and ingredients. Listen to our customer testimonial. This is what she has to say.
Oh my gosh, look at my face. I've been using these products for a year, exactly 1 year. If you have not tried them, you need to try them. They really work. Look at my skin.
Visit our website or contact us at 917-557-6204. Make it Tony and Organics and order yours today.
Food is designed to be felt, not just tasted. Soft warmth, gentle richness, a harmony that melts effortlessly on the tongue. At Cummings Exquisite Caterers, every dish is an invitation, guided by passion, finished with elegance. We cater for life's most meaningful moments, elegant weddings, private celebrations, and much more. With a serene repast center just 10 minutes away from 2 major cemeteries. We are located at 38 Dublin Spanish Town Road. Reach out to us, 876-573-9124.
Cummings Exquisite Caterers, where design. Our first social media question tonight comes from Instagram. Shania in Kingston, she says, low voter turnout suppresses the effectiveness of a democratic society. Many Jamaicans refuse to vote because they believe both parties are corrupt. What would you say to the significant population of non-voters? And if elected, how will you hold politicians accountable for offenses against the people instead of protecting them?
So in this instance, the question, you have 90 seconds to answer, and we begin with Dr. Holness.
Corruption is a serious problem in our country, and corruption requires strong leadership. From my position as Prime Minister, I have taken action against any member of my political party that has been involved or accused of anything that suggests corruption. In my own case, I have been investigated for a year with an expert forensic auditor. The findings of that report have suggested no corruption. There have been no charges. Every aspect of my report, every aspect of my personal life and my personal financial details are in the public domain. I am the politician about which Jamaica knows the most. And therefore, I am the politician who can stand with the greatest moral authority to treat with any matter that is considered corrupt, as I have done in the past. And I want to give this assurance to the Jamaican people that you know me, you know about me, you can trust me and you know that I stand against corruption.
Mr. Golding has the opportunity to respond to that social media question as well. Within
Andrew, what they know about you is that you have 28 bank accounts, that you received several $1 million in cash deposits from anonymous donors in your bank account, that your companies had transactions of over $400 million, several thousand transactions between them, and that Positive Jamaica Foundation, a non-profit which you are intimately connected with, provided resources which you use for personal investments through your personal company. We have signed the Leadership Code of Conduct developed by Integrity Commission. All of our spokespersons and myself have signed. None of your people have signed it. I am committed to ensuring that all members of the executive, when we form government, will have their Integrity Commission declarations published, not just the leader of the opposition and what should happen, but hasn't happened in your case because you're not certified, the Prime Minister. So the whole question that has been asked is an excellent question. And we really need to step up our vigilance against corrupt behavior, nepotism and cronyism. The volume of scandals under this Jamaica Labour Party government is unprecedented. Over the number of ministers who have had to be removed from frontline duty, many of them parked in the naughty corner in OPM rather than being sacked. It is a disgrace to the country, and your personal situation where you're operating under a deep cloud because your Integrity Commission declarations are not certified, also is something which Jamaica cannot go forward with.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you so much for choosing The Perspective this evening. Remember to like the live. The aim is to get to 500 likes every time we gather here. If you're watching and you're unable to participate in the comment section, it's because you're not a subscriber. Please do so that you can be a part of the discourse. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I make no apologies for being passionate on these matters, because the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, I can do what I can do. If I could be everywhere in this country and join every protest that happens in Jamaica, I would be there. But the Lord has blessed me with a platform, and so far this channel has over 1 million views. I started in January, we're in May, and when you put all the views together, this channel has reached over 1 million people. I can do what I can do. And these platforms, Lady J Love, is also a form of protest as well. Those who can, especially for those who are I see some people in some constituencies, they rather to suffer because they are labor rights. You must know when it is time to put aside your political biases and call, if you cannot call out your administration. Doesn't make any sense. What can you show for the third term? I have been asking this question. And people will simply say prosperity. Where is the prosperity? Define the prosperity. Because maybe I am missing something. But since September 3rd of 2025 to the 9th of May 2026, name me as a situation where Jamaicans can sit back and say, bad to bad Perry, bad to bad my Perspective family. I have seen prosperity in this country. I challenge you, labor rights. Tell me. Tell me. I'm hearing that yesterday there was a big shootout. A big shootout, ladies and gentlemen. In, was it Mandeville? Listen to this.
And I see a black vehicle, a black Jeep. I chase down one other vehicle. Same time now, me reaching at the town, me a clam. Me have to run for shelter, but it don't look good for Mandeville.
We about two different barrage gunshot, and we see about that. When it's a sack, a couple minutes after we said 3 men get shot around here. The place around with the people. Nobody can go east, west, north or south.
And I see a black vehicle, a black jeep. I chase down one other vehicle. Same time now, I reach in the town, me clam. I have to run for shelter, but it don't look good for man, devil.
We about two different barrages are gunshot, and we see about that. When it's a sack, a couple minutes after we said 3 men get shot around here. The place around with the people. Nobody can go east, west, north or south.
The lady said that it doesn't look good for Mandeville. It doesn't look good for Jamaica. There has been a significant uptick in crime and violence in our nation. The Prime Minister and the Commissioner of Police, they will want to tell us that crime and murder, it is going down. They will tell us that it has gone down. But there has been a significant uptick in gun violence in this country under the Andrew Holness led administration. They want to tell us that they have a good control of the crime and the violence in our country, but the realities on the ground, the realities are telling us otherwise. Somebody in the chat said, my parish, Mandeville, Manchester, is gone. The most quiet parish. Well, guess what? Mandeville has become a battleground. Gunmen, policemen, firing shots, disturbing the peace. The people are living in fear. Because this government, they have no strategy to curtail crime and violence in this country. They think that sending JCF officers into homes to kill people is the way to fix crime and violence. There is no strategy. I want from what's the strategy? Meet your judge or meet the judge or meet your maker. That's the strategy to fight crime, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Commissioner of Police. That is your brilliant third term strategy to address this issue of crime and violence in the country. You must be mad. Jamaica has seen an uptick in gun violence, murder, all sorts of criminality. We've seen an uptick in drug trafficking. Just the other day, 1,600 pounds of cocaine valuing over $400 million seized. 2 persons were charged. And there are and that is just what we know about. Because a lot of these things are distractions from the big operations. Under the Andrew Holness led administration, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen an increase in just a blatant breakdown of our morality. We're going to touch NARA later tonight, but listen to this protest.
Residents of Woodpecker Avenue off Waltham Park Road in St. Andrew staged a protest on Thursday. But why? Carrie-Ann Simpson has the details.
Road blocked, police on standby, residents up in arms over a dust nuisance they say has been affecting health and livelihoods. The source, ongoing road work in the area. Although grateful, the people complain it's moving slow.
Every minute we have a dust wipe. Yeah, especially every minute we have especially counter over there. If you look, every 5 minutes we have a wipe. They'll sweep out the shop and those stuff.
It's a good thing that the road is fixing, but they're just keeping on carrying and dumping off truckload of mall and not wetting up the road. You see, if the road could have wet like 3 times for the day or they aisle it would be good for us. Look here, the customer them come, them have to sit on this. Look.
They say this has been the situation since last year and now their health is being affected.
My daughter have to check go to the doctor the other day.
Your daughter have to go to the doctor?
Yes, asthma.
Yeah.
They said they had infection in her throat.
They believe wetting the road at least 3 times daily would significantly address the issue. We put the issue to the contractor for the road project, Marlon Haynes.
We have been doing our best. I guess we maybe can try a little harder. However, we try to wet the road at least 2 times a day. As you can see, summertime, sun very hot. I mean, as soon as I wet it, few minutes after, then the sun would have dried up the water. But we're going to try and see how best we can improve on wetting it a little bit more often.
The roadwork, which started last October, is set to be completed later this year. Kerry Simpson, TVJ News.
From last year, Mr. Nestor Morgan, from last year, October, the roadwork started. And it is set to be completed by later this year. Blessings, Jenny Stewart. From last year, October, this work has started. And it is set to complete later this year. So the people should continue to contend with the dust. People with asthma. Ladies and gentlemen, these are serious things, This is a very serious matter, As simple as you see this about dust, it is a very serious matter, especially when it comes to health. And the people must sit through another year of having the tractors come and dump marl. They should be left exposed to dust, to kill off them children, to kill off the elderly, to disturb them business. What happened to this Spark and the Go Rehab and all of these road programs, Mr. Morgan? And what is NARA on waiting on? So you're going to allow people to die before you all get up, you incompetent ministers. People must continue to be rushed to hospital. Hospitals that we don't have, by the way. Hospitals that we don't have. It's not like we have an excellent health and wellness ministry and an excellent healthcare system, where if people get sick, ambulance can run, come pick them up. Ladies and gentlemen, you recognize what is happening here? This country is deteriorating right before our very eyes, and very few of us recognize it, There is a total breakdown of this country. They want to make it seem as if Jamaica is just so okay and there's nothing to worry about. And yesterday we watched this stream and oh, sweet, sweet Jamaica, me nah left ya. Soft yam and banana, me nah left ya. Marlene Williams, we are praying for you. Are you currently in the hospital? I'm seeing a comment here. I am in the US, Perry, and was hospitalized. Are you okay? You're in the hospital watching? We will pray for you at the end of the show. You're waiting for NARA to move, Mr. Morgan. So the people must sit and suffer in the dust. In a country where we don't value health. You cannot take a risk with your health, ladies and gentlemen. Not under Christopher Tufton's watch. Not with Christopher Tufton. You cannot run the risk with your health under are the most incompetent minister in my book.
A call this evening for a cultural shift among residents to stop going to hospitals instead of health centers at the first sign of a health complaint. The matter was raised at a recent meeting of the Manchester Municipal Corporation, where the concern was raised about overcrowding at the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Krista Campbell reports.
The Mandeville Regional Hospital in Manchester treats patients from at least 4 parishes. But in recent times, there's been a run on the medical facility, leaving it with more patients than staff or beds can accommodate.
It has worsened because of Hurricane Melissa, where Black River really has been out of it, although some services have been restored. And so there's a lot of pressure on the staff at the Mandeville Regional Hospital. On a recent visit, the Accident and Emergency Department has been placed under excessive pressure. So,
Dr. Shawnette Blair Walters is Acting Medical Health Officer for Manchester. Addressing the latest Board of Health meeting at the Manchester Municipal Corporation, she urged councillors to get the word out to residents that their first point of contact whenever they have a health complaint should be a health centre and not the hospital. However, she noted that residents need to know the schedule of services offered at the health centres in each health district across the parish. For example,
one is Royal Flat. It's a type 1. Doctor is not found at the Royal Flat Health Centre. But we offer antenatal, postnatal, family planning and wound care services at this particular health centre. The Lincoln Health Centre is a type 2. Doctor is present Tuesdays and Fridays every week. And the Mandeville Health Centre, which is the only health centre across the parish of Manchester that has doctors present Mondays to Friday.
But for some councillors, the overcrowding at the Mandeville Regional Hospital is a symptom of a broader systemic problem.
If the volume of persons coming to the Mandeville Hospital is so overwhelming that the staff is under tremendous pressure and cannot manage, why not then use some emergency fund to inject in these facilities around?
You realize that the doctor visit, in terms of persons coming into the hospital, right, might vary from 2,000 to 4,000 persons a day. Right? When it might be in the past, you used to have only 1,500 persons. So we have to understand that there is an increase. And that is why the health centers, we are recognizing the importance of sending doctors on a day-to-day basis to these health centers to see how we can minimize the increase of the hospital end.
For her part, Dr. Blair Walters noted the need for better staffing and the scheduling of doctors at health centers, even as she urges a culture shift where residents go to health centers as the first point of contact when they have a health complaint.
We have doctors who work at many health centers within multiple health districts. And so therefore they cannot be in 2 health districts on the same day. So for example, I can use Christian doctors and nurse practitioners. When they are not at the Christiana Health Center for those 3 days, they are in Robbins Hall, they are at Belfield, or they are at the Craighead, now at Robbins Hall.
But we have to put the personnel in place, increase the days when doctors will be there for us to really see this culture shift come into effect.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
So them are fire, and if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge, you can't go on like a fool, you have to fire back. Somebody load up and say pop, 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 pop. God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
It is a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. That is the word that I have to use to describe this health ministry. I know probably Christopher Tufton ears are ringing even now. Because the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, what I am hearing now is just pure nonsense. They are asking for a culture shift. Listen to what the people are asking for, you know. Instead of demanding that the government improve the conditions of our hospitals, instead of demanding that the government improve the conditions of our hospitals, these people are asking for a culture shift, that people go to health centers as the first visit rather than going to the hospitals because of overcrowding, lack of resources, this and that. Well, if you go to the health centers, it is the same thing. If you go to the health centers, it is the same song you will sing, ladies and gentlemen. This Ministry of Health and Wellness, it is a total disaster. Christopher Tufton, Mr. Christopher Tufton, you are a total disaster when it comes to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. You are the set of people who sent home the Cuban doctors. See, everybody start ball now. All sort of problems start going now. You sent home our Cuban doctors. You further plunged the conditions of our health and wellness into further darkness and disgrace. So now you're asking for culture shifts. The only shift we should be shifting is to ensure that our hospitals are rehabilitated, they are improved. I'm seeing in the chat that Carol, a relative of Carol, cannot get to bond with her babies because of the poor health conditions at these hospitals. Ladies and gentlemen, this administration is literally killing off Jamaicans. The Ministry of Death and Unwellness. The Ministry of Death and Unwellness.
Sakata. We are mash up, you know. Fire under the Holy Ghost. Every crisis, every condition, every operation of hell. Fire, fire, Bishop. I got your back. Fire, fire. Jesus Christ, watch the operation. Watch the operation. Jesus Christ, Eastwood Park Road. Come, come. Come on. Cover your...
And you know, when I look at the state of the Ministry of Health under the Andrew Holness led administration, I am reminded of just how dismissive Mr. Tufton is when it comes to issues of corruption and just the lack of oversight. His response last year was very concerning in the debates, and I searched for it and I wanted to listen to Mr. Tufton and tell me if you expected anything better. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
Performance we're very proud of. We created the lowest poverty rate in the country on record. We created more jobs with more participation in the economy on record. And while we're doing that, we build new industries in digital technology, in our port facilities, for logistics hub, as well as maintaining and building on the traditional industries that are there. Most persons in Jamaica today, young persons who have a skill, can find a job. That was not the case under the People's National Party. And I want to just come back to this issue of corruption, because they seem to think that they can speak about things in mid-air without any evidence, innuendos and suppositions, as if people are going to accept that. What the Jamaican people want is who is going to look after them, who will bring down crime. Peter Bunting.
You hear what Mr. Tufton said last year? He basically told us, ladies and gentlemen, that the people of this country, they don't care about corruption. Well, based on how I see my fellow Jamaicans behaving when it comes to matters of corruption, with all the reports from the Auditor General, with all the police fatal shootings, with all the enrichment and uncertified Prime Minister, with all of those things that we are seeing, he's probably right. Doesn't seem as if Jamaica cares about corruption after all. But you heard what he said. He basically dismissed the issues of corruption because Jamaica has accepted corruption as the norm. He doesn't care about corruption. Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said.
For logistics hub, as well as maintaining and building on the traditional industries that are there. Most persons in Jamaica today, young persons who have a skill, can find a job. That was not the case under the People's National Party. And I want to just come back to this issue of corruption, because they seem to think that they can speak about things in mid-air without any evidence, innuendos and suppositions, as if people are going to accept that. What the Jamaican people want is who is going to look after them, who will bring down crime. Peter Bunting depended on divine intervention without work. In fact, he is on record, I believe, as the only Minister of National Security who was unable to secure himself. And I am happy he's okay from that unfortunate incident in Portland. But it speaks to confidence in their policy to reduce crime. This government has reduced crime by the lowest over 30 years. And this is what Jamaicans want. They felt unsafe under the PNP. They feel a lot safer under the Jamaica Labour Party.
The central bank has...
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the foolish. You see how you see last year's debate? I want us to never forget these conversations. Never forget these conversations, ladies and gentlemen. You hear what they're talking about? Bringing down crime and bringing down this and bringing down that and now. Nobody wants to hear about corruption and nobody wants to hear about that and that. About people feel safe under the... People feel safe. You get the third term, Mr. Tufton. You get the third term, Mr. Campaign Chairman for the Jamaica Labour Party last year. Mr. PR Boss, you got the third term. Who feels safe in Jamaica right now? Who feels safe in Jamaica right now? These are the type of leaders. These are the type of... Look how brazen the man is last year, talking about all manner of things. When the state of health and wellness in Jamaica is at an all-time low. This is the worst we have seen health in this country. The healthcare system is the worst we have seen in Jamaica's history. And I say that without apology, because this is the administration that sent home the Cuban doctors. This is the administration that caused our hospitals to be overcrowded, shortage of staffs, no equipment, no resources, no nothing, dilapidated hospitals. Now you come talking about a culture shift. We should not send people to hospitals, but send them to healthcare, to health centers. It is a disgrace. It's a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen.
Has cut its policy interest rate from 7% in July 2024 to 5.75% in August 2025. The regulator has been pleading with the banks, the commercial banks, to further reduce lending rates, but it's not happening fast enough. What will your administration do to further pressure banks to cut their lending rates?
Okay. So we are seeing interest rates come down. And we're getting early signs that the rates to borrowers is also coming down. Just recently, I was speaking to the DBJ. You know that the DBJ on-lends to the banks to lend to our MSMEs. And DBJ reported that they are seeing lower rates in the marketplace from banks. As the Bank of Jamaica bring rates down, which it will, we fully expect that our borrowers are going to begin to see lower rates in the marketplace on the various loans.
I think
the last year you saw, look, listen to the Minister of Finance. She looked to the Minister of Health to chime in. You saw that, ladies and gentlemen? The Minister of Finance look, ladies and gentlemen, look, the Minister of Finance look to Christopher Tufton. She looked to Christopher Tufton to assist her in responding to a question that she should have the know on in terms of even answering these things. I just want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that these are the type of people that Jamaica say we must put our trust in. No competence, they have no clue. Look at Favour Williams looking to Christopher Tufton for help. Look at this.
Borrowers are going to begin to see lower rates in the marketplace on the various loans. Rates in the marketplace on the various loans.
Look at that. Clueless. 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 I cannot believe this. I know me not take time, but you know say, Glennox, I told Minister Favour Williams to leave. I told her to leave. I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for her anymore. There was a time when I felt sorry for her. I'm going to just play the response of Peter Bunting and we move on to some other matters. But I told Favour Williams to leave. She's clueless. So any beating where I dish out, she have to get it too. She have to get it.
Thank you, Team PNP, your rebuttal. Before the break, Chris had the gall of claiming success with crime. The fact is that more Jamaicans have been murdered under this JLP administration. Almost 13,000 murdered in their 2 terms than in any other 2 terms in the history of Jamaica. That is failure, not success. We commend the police for the...
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? You see how Mr. Tufton is lying You see, I'm going back because I remember this debate, and I'm saying, no wonder the Ministry of Health is like this, because all these people, all it is that we can expect from Mr. Tufton is just PR rhetorics. There is no truth to what these people are saying, and I question, how is it that with the blatant lies, people could still get up and vote for these people? Listen to the blatant lie that was said on national television. Listen to the blatant lie.
That liberalization that drove us into FinSA.
Thank you, Team PNP, your rebuttal. Before the break, Chris had the gall of claiming success with crime. The fact is that more Jamaicans have been murdered under this JLP administration. Almost 13,000 murdered in their 2 terms than in any other 2 terms in the history of Jamaica. That is failure, not success. We commend the police for the job they've been doing this year in reducing it, but you can't take credit for that. That's despite your failed SOE policies.
What we will do to ensure that the banking sector is more competitive, we are going to ensure government deposits. There's a system to ensure that all banks participate in government deposits.
Thank you.
And just like that, Bunting was able to expose almost 13,000 people murdered in any 2 terms in the history. In the history. See Marshy calling me. Before I go on, let me get back Marshy. And we move on to some other matters, ladies and gentlemen. Marshy, blessings.
Bless. No, you know, sir, I know me are the MP for the year, you know. And I know you are the MP for the year, then I don't know.
No.
Like one guess and tell me who are the MP.
Who are the MP, Marshy?
The last time I check out, Michael Andrew Brogard Radam Wolness.
Lord of mercy.
Which part is that?
The shooting them?
No man. We are the protest about the road.
Oh yes, that's Mr. Hollis's constituency, man.
Okay.
But Marshy, we don't expect anything better from this government. They don't care.
Well, at them not care, the people not care.
Boy, these days, Marshy, I've started to look at things a lot differently, you know. Because yesterday we see how much Jamaicans come out to meet the streamer will come here. Right? And so many things are happening in this country. And I don't see any solidarity.
No man, the people don't like it, man. The people don't like it. But you see me, it's hard for me to trust Andrew Wolness, you know. He promised his first 100 days in office he's going to take a bill to Parliament for fixed election date, for the Buggery Act, and for the Privy Council. The first 100 days, I call them bill to come to Parliament, you know. All no. All no. Because Power Street, him telling about a business with no fixed election date. Everything him said, him do something different. The minimum wage, him promise it double, and then when the people they make a loud noise and done, him say another something, and then him say the first budget when read, him have put 250 on it. After the election, him have put 2,500 to that. And then when he read the first budget, he will give them 1,000. The 1,000 is like joke because it's gone. Nothing like it, nothing again. Man, everything him say one different thing, you know. And then just continue to lie. And I want me to understand when I keep down can get up in a parliament that talk about help sign the EPAC something, it was a lie. He never make no contribution to the thing.
My God.
Then you have Charles Sinclair come and tell a lie yesterday again about the road that will go get down to the flyover down a Portia Simpson Square.
Yes.
And Charles Sinclair trying to take credit for it when he have not a damn thing to do with it. The GLP not the only thing the GLP come and do is to continue and finish the job because the PNP did lose the election. What they must take and be proud of it. You see? What the GLP must take credit for and proud of it. You see the bus park where they make up down Van Garvey Drive, Pichon Street here and there. Where nobody now take. Not take credit for it. Not them did make that. Students to PJ did make the one in a halfway tree.
Yes.
They make one transport center down there so where nobody now want. Nobody now use it. It turn one white elephant down there. Most of them did build it. Why not take it? Why you want to take something? Why them not take it and name it after Desmond McKenzie? Constituency. And name it after Andrew Wernis. Name it after and name it after my wife, no? Why? Take it and name it. Be proud of it because I didn't make that.
Yes.
Take it, man. And name it after yourself, man. Come on, man. Don't go on the road and just lying. You cannot trust this man. This man to the on-time let a business to run people out of the Senate. That's why the current set of senators we have, they can't have an independent mind, you know. They can't do it. They have to do what he said.
True.
Or else they all been fired. That is Andrew Wernis. This is a dictator. He is absolute. Yeah, man, the man is a dangerous man. And me hear people doing everything in them books to big up on Mrs. Wernis. Mrs. Wernis rank up fierce the out hard and everything. Oh, I should call her by her right name. Miss Agnes. Take care of Perry.
Blessings,
So them on fire. And if the enemy on fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what?
Ladies and gentlemen, speaking about our senators, the NARA bill returns to the Senate, and there was a debate that we must talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud of the senators of the People's National Party. Listen to this. Let us look back at NARA. Listen to this.
The controversial National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority NARA bill returned to the upper house for the second time as senators engage in hours-long debate on the legislation. Cameron White reports.
There is continued division between government and opposition members over the level of authority the proposed National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority NARA would wield. The bill, which was passed in the House of Representatives after a marathon sitting, is facing scrutiny in the Senate, where opposition members have sharply pointed out gaps in key provisions. Opposition senators continue to echo concerns raised by the counterparts in the lower house, arguing that the legislation grants sweeping powers without sufficient accountability mechanisms. Opposition Senator Donna Scott Motley argued that there has been little consultation on such a critical bill. She argues that the government's approach has disregarded the voice of the public and the civil society.
NARA reminds me of NERA. Because when you look at it, when you break down what the requests are, perhaps the most constant one is, why not a board? In the opinion of what you call right-thinking members, a board would strengthen the accountability. Now, I have not heard any reason why putting a board in place would make the whole system bog down. I have not seen the difficulty which would be created by having a board instead of an advisory body.
In response, Government Senator Abka Fitz-Henley expressed strong support for the bill, arguing that the bill is a decisive step in the right direction.
We support passage of the bill because we recognize that Hurricane Melissa, having accounted for 56% of GDP, that means that the damage is so extensive that operating at normal pace, it would take approximately 25 years, conservatively speaking, of normal government of Jamaica capital expenditure to address the damage. And that would mean nothing new is built. It is because we recognize the scale of the damage, the lives and the communities impacted, and the painful inefficiency of current processes to facilitate quick action on a large scale, why I submit to this Parliament that the bill is worthy of strong support.
Cameron White, TVJ News.
It is disgraceful how the JLP senators can get up and support nonsense. Let me say this. I want to remind my viewers why the opposition will continue to have problems with the NARA bill. I cannot imagine these senators from the JLP. It is just a shame. It is an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed for them. When I listen to them talk or debate any topic in Parliament, it is a hard watch. The only reason why I watch some of those debates, ladies and gentlemen, is because I need information to communicate. These people, it's just embarrassing. And I'm being very, very real. Now I would love I have to ask, are these people okay, ladies and gentlemen? What is wrong? Can you be so sold out to politics? Listen, if it's so politics, I go to people, you know. Me don't want it. I don't want to be in it. If it is so politics, I go to people, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot sound bright but talk such filth.
Fully done.
My perspective, family. The National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, the NARA bill, comes with a lot of problems. And the labor rights are trying to defend the NARA bill because the JLP has ordered them to do so. So you may see them on TikTok lives, on social media, trying to defend something that cannot be defended. But listen again to the key points that the labor rights are trying to stray from. There is just simply too much power concentrated in one authority. Let's see how best we can break this down for the illiterate labor rights to understand. One of the biggest criticisms is that the bill creates an authority with enormous control over reconstruction money, contracts, and national projects, but without enough independent oversight. NARA can approve and coordinate massive projects. It can procure goods and services directly. It can receive billions in public and international funds. Yet, Parliament has limited day-to-day control over its operations. So when the labor rights are talking about Parliament will give oversight, it is limited oversight. That's not oversight. And what we're saying is that the NARA creates a state within a state because you can't tell NARA what to do. It is a super agency with executive powers. It is a structure vulnerable to abuse. Peter Bunting reportedly described it in Parliament as a fiscal free-for-all. And that is really what it is. Good night for those who are just joining. Remember to like up the live. If you're watching and you've not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It is a free-for-all. Bear in mind, the Prime Minister is the one that is responsible for selecting the CEO, who is answerable to the Prime Minister. There is no board. All of a sudden there's a problem with boards now. All of a sudden the labor writers said there is a problem with boards. It was never a problem until the Jamaica Labour Party-led administration decided not to have a board to keep the CEO in check. All of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, everywhere you go, there are boards. In corporate, in public, you have a board. All of a sudden, and that's why I'm telling you that it is very dangerous what the JLP has done to some of these people. They will defend every single thing that comes from the mouths of the Jamaica Labour Party governors, ministers, senators, and MPs. All of a sudden, there is no need to have a board. Why? Because the JLP says so. It is sickening that these people are unable to think for themselves. Get past your political biases and call it for what it is. Many civil society groups, not just the opposition, because many persons like APCA and Marlon Morgan, they want to paint this narrative as if it is just the opposition, as if it is just the PNP who had a problem with the NARA bill. But many civil society groups say the bill is excessively centered around the CEO instead of a strong independent board. Too much authority rests with one executive officer. Weak institutional safeguards if the wrong person is appointed. Lack of clear separation between management and governance. Groups like Jamaicans for Justice and Jamaica Environment Trust argue that the bill lacks proper merit-based appointment protections and independent vetting mechanisms. Jamaica has suffered historically when too much state power is centralized around one officer or political figure. And this is what the Andrew Holness-led administration wants to introduce in the NARA. One person having all this authority, answerable to nobody but the Prime Minister. Really and truly, the Prime Minister is the CEO. Blatant corruption, blatant disregard for democracy, blatant. It is blatant, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot make it up. Critics argue that the bill sidelines Parliament after the authority is created. Parliament appropriates money but may not fully supervise how projects are executed. The CEO will dictate that. In other words, the Prime Minister will dictate that. Major decisions become executive or ministerial rather than parliamentary. The Parliament has no say over NARA. Oversight mechanisms appear reactive instead of preventative. Taxpayers carry the financial burden, but elected representatives lose meaningful oversight. Remember that the Auditor General cannot look at the books. They cannot look at the books up to 4 years. The Auditor General cannot look at what is happening in NARA. One person to understand what is happening. Speed without accountability becomes corruption. Nobody is against the speedy restoration process that we need in order to get the West back on their feet. Nobody's against that. But when you have a corrupt administration like the Andrew Holness administration, we are not so keen. We're not careful, rather, in cautioning this government. Slow things down. Put the proper measures in place, because you have a reputation of corruption that is unprecedented. So don't use any excuse about speed as to the reason why there shouldn't be any accountability measures. It's foolishness. You people just want to have access to billions of dollars and nobody can tell you what to do, how to manage it. Emergency powers must not replace democracy. NARA concentrates billions of dollars with insufficient guardrails. This is a scandal loading. I remembered saying it. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, even before the bill reached Parliament, we said it on the perspective that NARA is another scandal loading. And so said, so done. The bill weakens oversight while expanding the executive power. This is not resilience. I'm just reading some points here. This is the centralization of power. And the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, transparency delayed is accountability denied. You cannot tell me that the Auditor General cannot look on the books until 4 years have passed. Madness. So you can get away and do your corruption, spend much billion, look out for your friend, them nepotism, cronyism, and all of these things can happen. And the Auditor General cannot do anything, cannot look at what you're doing until 4 years gone. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Father God, look down in Jamaica. Look down in Jamaica, God. Look at what is happening in our country. The risk of becoming permanent is also a reality. The critics fear that NARA could evolve beyond a disaster recovery. Remember, them said NARA is temporary, you know. But there is a risk. How are we sure that the government will not make this thing a permanent one? The concerns are that the mandate is too broad. It could duplicate existing agencies. We spoke about this, like the Urban Development Corporation and the National Works Agency, the municipal corporations. NARA is going to be kicking those things out the door. NARA is going to become the new tool of the Jamaica Labour Party to exercise power in this country, to divide the people, and to seek leverage, political leverage, to swing votes. That is my opinion. NARA is here to stay. Don't let these people try and trick you. NARA is no temporary thing. You're going to hear that NARA is going to become a permanent thing. Oh, after the success of NARA, we are now moving a motion. And remember that they have the numbers, you know. NARA is going to remain here. Remember, I said it on the 9th of May 2026. NARA is setting up itself to be the game changer for the Jamaica Labour Party. That is what they want NARA to become. Let's talk about the constitutional and democratic concerns, though. The issue is, ladies and gentlemen, that today's disaster reconstruction, that is what they say. It is about reconstruction, you know. But tomorrow, another authority may be created with even broader powers. Why? Because the NARA has set a new precedent. The fact that the Jamaican government of today, the fact that Mr. Holness and his team could get away with a bill like this, and I know the opposition tried. A lot of persons may want to say that the opposition this and the opposition that. Listen, the opposition fought in parliament, but it's a numbers game. It will always be a numbers game. But the fact that Andrew Holness and his team could get away with NARA being so flawed, lacking so much oversight, being a breathing ground for corruption and nepotism, what is to stop this government from creating a NARA 2.0? The bill reflects growing executive centralization. 1. 2. It weakens the institutional independence. 3. There are reduced checks and balances. NARA has set a precedent in our country, one that we may never recover from unless we change government. But Senator Donna Scott Motley exposed the Minister of Education. Because who remember when I raised the issue about the Minister of Education talking about the fact that they need NARA because a certain fence couldn't have been erected because of the procurement bureaucracies? Who remembered when I said that that sounds like bull to me? 18 months and they couldn't put up a fence for the pitney them at the school, and that's why you need NARA? Who remembered when we had that conversation? Right here on The Perspective. Well, I am happy that the senator brought it up in parliament and exposed Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, because I knew that made absolutely no sense. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the reason why you cannot trust this administration. You cannot trust these ministers. They will come and support NARA and say all sort of lies and omit information. Listen to the exposure now.
You know, last week too when you spoke, Minister, I was very embarrassed by what you said about the Portmore municipality and the long wait that you had. I really thought it was an indictment, except that I didn't know that there were issues surrounding the ownership of the land on which the fence was going to be built. And I think that addition, that further explanation would have made a significant difference to how it was perceived. Because I had to make an inquiry. When you hear somebody, a minister, say that a fence which is needed for the security and the safety of the children has been delayed by a municipality for over 18 months, you must be concerned. Save and accept that there was a dispute over the ownership of the land, which prevented the municipality from giving the permission. That is critical. That is
critical. Sakata. We are mash up, fire under the Holy Ghost. Every crisis, every condition, every operation of hell. Fire, fire, Bishop. I got your back, fire, fire. Jesus Christ, watch the operation. Watch the operation. Jesus Christ, this footpath road, come. Come on. Cover your pastor.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Minister of Education made it seem as if it was procurement issues that caused the fence to be non-existent for over 18 months. That's what Dr. Dana Morris Dixon went in Parliament and said in support of the NARA bill. Oh, because even at the Nuggethead Primary School, we weren't able to put up events for over 18 months because of the bureaucracy. Indeed, NARA will help us. But she left out the most crucial bit of information. It wasn't nothing to do with procurement. There was a dispute over the ownership of the land, why the people couldn't put up a permanent structure like a fence. NARA is just being supported by all these ministers by any means necessary. They are willing to come and tell blatant lies in Parliament or omit information to support this bill. This is what the people are willing to come in Parliament and say and do and create false narratives just to support this bill. The senator went and did the inquiry and the municipality made it clear it wasn't anything about no procurement and land ownership issues. I'm pulling up the video. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Expose them.
Last week too, when you spoke, Minister, I was very embarrassed by what you said about the Portmore municipality and the long wait that you had. I really thought it was an indictment, except that I didn't know that there were issues surrounding the ownership of the land on which the fence was going to be built. And I think that that addition, that further explanation would have made a significant difference to how it was perceived. Because I had to make an inquiry. When you hear somebody, a minister, say that a fence which is needed for the security and the safety of the children has been delayed by a municipality for over 18 months, you must be concerned. Save and accept that there was a dispute over the ownership of the land which prevented the municipality from giving the permission. That is critical. That is critical. If I am incorrect, then you must take it up with the media who carried a report about the Nuggethead situation. But when you're closing, tell me, explain to me how NARA would have been used to resolve that situation. Is it that you would have acquired the land? Because I am reading into NARA that NARA can do basically anything in the world that it desires to do. And I think that for good governance, you should just pause and consider whether that is in fact what you intend.
What is NARA going to do? Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, Minister of what? Education, information. Give us the information. There are several problems with what the Minister of Education said. You painted a picture that one, the issue as to why there was no fence for over 18 months was a problem with procurement. Remember, this is what the Prime Minister's narrative has been for some time. Remember from last year, I think I started to point my viewers, not last year, probably early this year, I started to point my viewers as to the tone of the Prime Minister and what he's trying to communicate. Remember when persons were calling out Mr. Darrell Vaz about the procurement breaches with the Starlings, and the Auditor General called him out on it as well? Who remembered when the Prime Minister was doing some public session and he started to fire at bureaucracy? That is where it all started. That's when we should have known that this NARA thing, was really going to be a reality. All of a sudden, there's a problem with our bureaucracy in our country. Too many red tapes. And I called out the Prime Minister and I said, what the Prime Minister is saying, his perspective is dangerous. Don't come out and defend Daryl Vaz because of. Come out as the Prime Minister and caution against breaking rules and regulations in the name of emergency responses. I called out the Prime Minister on it. But that was the narrative, the tone set by the Prime Minister. That the reason why they are unable to deliver is because of the rules and regulations and the procurement guidelines. And apparently, NARA is going to cut through all of those rules and regulations, cut through all of those red tapes, so that we can get better roads quickly, fences at schools more quickly. That was the narrative. So when the Minister of Education came in support of NARA and alluded to the situation at the Nagohead Primary School as to why they don't have a fence for over 18 months, it was because, in their defense of NARA, with NARA, we will get fencing materials more quickly. With NARA, we'll be able to build more fences for our schools quickly. That was the narrative. But here is the deception. And Senator Dana said it very clearly. You refused to point out the real reason why the fence could not have been built. It wasn't any problems about procurement. There is a dispute over the ownership of the land. But that's just one aspect of it. Are you suggesting that NARA will just take land from people and do what it wants to do with the land? Really and truly, ladies and gentlemen, when you think about it, we need to stop and ask ourselves the question: how much power does NARA really have? What type of power are we dealing with? What type of power will we see with NARA? Will this CEO, I believe the Prime Minister himself will declare himself to be the CEO. He's that audacious. But whomever the CEO will be, we know who he will answer to. He or she will answer to. But am I to believe, ladies and gentlemen, that NARA will wield such a power that they can just go around and claim land in the name of reconstruction and resilience? Will the NARA seize some of those lands in central Kingston that it has been alleged that Donovan Williams burned down?
And if the enemy are fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
Yvonne Riley, I asked a question last night. And you mentioned something in the chat. Will NARA carry the power to go to a compound and say, well, you see that treaty that you have, Mr. Curry? I don't care who you have the treaty with. But you see, this that was passed in the House of Parliament, gives me, the CEO of NARA, the power to come and claim that land. I don't know, can't do nothing about it. As a matter of fact, what is it that you're going to do when I've already militarized the country? I can snap my finger and you will see JCF police officers without body-worn cameras flooding a compound with high-powered weapons, ready to defend my cause if you dare resist. Could it be, ladies and gentlemen, that the NARA will be a historical move by the Andrew Holness-led administration to gain total control of Jamaica, be it land, resources, minerals, whatsoever it is? Could this NARA be the final nail in the coffin for democracy? Dr. Dana Morris Dixon exposed what could be the truth to what is just a thought. How could NARA fix an issue regarding land ownership? Will NARA just tell the municipalities shut your mouth and NARA in charge now? We don't care who owns this land here. Will that be the way forward for Jamaica under this NARA bill? And I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. I encourage the Andrew Holness-led administration to give clarity. I encourage them to come and clarify. You know what we need in Parliament again? Something like this.
If 6 votes opposed.
The House is suspended until the ringing of the bells. The gallery is to be cleared.
In New Zealand, there was a demonstration. I believe that lady who started the protest for the indigenous people, she's very young at the time, probably one of the youngest members of that parliamentary sitting, and she stood up and ripped that piece of paper or that proposed legislation in two. She tore up the bill representing her indigenous people, ladies and gentlemen. The Samoans. I'm not sure if you're a person should be familiar with that type of people. The Hawaiians, you know, those type of persons, the islanders. And she felt as if the bill was going to significantly jeopardize the culture, the way of life of her people. And like the Bible, When Esther went to the king to represent her people, this young lady, she got up in that parliamentary sitting. The Maori people, I hope I pronounce it right, Marcia. The Maori people, the people that normally have the lot of markings and the, you know, and she ripped that bill, and there was a protest in the house. They had to suspend it. Ladies and gentlemen, what this NARA is setting up to do is going to cause mass dispossession of land. How else can I think about it? Came from the mouth of Dr. Dana Morris Dixon in a very peculiar way. Thank God Senator was able to do her inquiries and to realize the real issue. And now we have to ask the question, how would NARA solve that issue? We're out of time, but I want to just remind you of how dishonest the Jamaica Labour Party is. As we go, this video was done yesterday where MP Dwayne Vaz exposed Desmond McKenzie. Where are the 50 houses that were promised to the people in the West?
Today is Friday, May 8th, the day when all persons in shelters across Jamaica should be moving to suitable location based on what the minister said. Well, we are here today, and the minister made some pronouncements yesterday that the deadline has been met and everyone has left the shelters. But what the minister is not telling you is that the promise that was made is for persons in the shelters at Petersfield to be relocated to suitable location at the site that we are standing right now. This is where the 50 houses are supposed to be put, where the government has said the houses are here in Jamaica. But as you can see, the only thing that has been done so far is about 6 bases have been built. No sewage put in, no water put in, so therefore the site is definitely not ready. This was a promise made by the minister to the residents that were staying at the Petersfield shelter. So they are disappointed again. So the pronouncements made are simply not true. Missed deadlines after missed deadlines is what we are seeing here at Petersfield as we speak right now. Even yesterday when the persons were being removed from the shelter, the place where they are being put was not ready. This was at the teacher's flat beside of the school. The place was not cleaned up. No electricity was there. No water was there. The persons had to move by themselves, had to lift up the mattress and carry on them head over to the place. They had to clean it up themselves. It's actually when they were finished cleaning, that is when the fire truck came to assist, when they already got a power wash to clean up the place. So it showed that this was just a last minute decision. It was a hurried move to get the people out there because they wanted to say they met the deadline. But the real promise was really to move them to suitable accommodation, and that accommodation was referenced to right where we are standing at this property in the Shrewsbury area. So this again shows up the minister, and the minister must take full responsibility. It shows the level of incompetence from the minister. And I'm calling on the Prime Minister to step in right now and assist to ensure smooth transition for these people at the shelter so they can have dignity and pride in where they're staying. It was just this morning when we spoke to them where somebody had did some work and got them the light last night, got them some water, but there are still some issues where the electrician still needs to come back today to try to remedy the issues. The toilet bowls in some of the places is not working. So it is obvious again that the place was just not ready. It was a hurried move just to satisfy what they had said earlier. So we're calling out the Prime Minister. Please assist the residents at the shelter in Shrewsbury and get them to where was promised to them. Another issue highlighted by the residents when they went there to clean up: rat infestation. And all over the property, rats left, right, and center. And if we're being serious, right now we are talking about the hantavirus. and people across the world are scared. Jamaicans are saying they're scared. The ministry is saying we should be prepared, and they are prepared. But imagine having this virus threatening Jamaica right now and threatening the world, and we're sending persons to a place that was not properly cleaned up before the persons went over there. Is this how you care for the persons of Petersfield?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is clear that this government simply does not care. It is clear that they don't care. May 8, by May 8, all shelterees will be relocated to a suitable when absolutely nothing was put in place. So you move the people in a, I can't even call it a pig pen, because you go to some places and the pigs are pink and nice, pretty and clean, and their environment, their pig pen is clean, well washed and kept, because you don't want persons to call you out. You hurry and move them to this place, not the place that was promised for the people at Petersfield. And I'm happy that Dwayne Vaz went to the location, because I remember Dwayne Vaz saying that they went and they did their assessment of the place, and he said it not much. Remember the press briefing that the PNP had? Dwayne Vaz said it. I went there, we went there, and based on what we see at this spot of ground, it doesn't seem as if the May 8th date will be honored. He said it. Talk is cheap, Lorna Marriott. Talk is cheap. This should be the hair that broke the camel's back. Greek Jamaica 7. Every single member of Westmoreland, every single citizen, if no other Jamaica, remember we see how Kingston and St. Andrew operate. They want to run behind Ishowspeed, this streamer. They don't care. We realize that Jamaica is divided. The labor rights won't go out and protest for the people in the West. But the people in the West, this is how your government is treating you. This is what the Andrew Holness government, this is what Desmond McKenzie, the Minister for Local Government, this is how they see you. This is how much they value you, your children. That is the regard that they have for you and your family. A nasty, filthy, rat-infested place with all the type of virus breaking out all over the world. They don't care to put you in those types of conditions because you are not a laborite. Do not sit down and allow this to go unnoticed without no uproar. You should all come together, take to the streets, call out your MPs too, that they march with you too, because enough is enough, ladies and gentlemen. And when the MP spoke out yesterday, Desmond McKenzie is coming out to blame the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, saying that the contractors weren't paid. No accountability. He is the minister, you know? This man is the Minister of Local Government. No accountability. You are the man in charge of local government. This falls under your oversight, under your leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, people of Westmoreland, make some noise about this. Where are the 50 houses? Where are the shelters that were promised on May 8th? My God Almighty, again, it is clear as day that the government of this country is incompetent, that they simply don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, this should be it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Desmond McKenzie must go. The people are living on the streets under the open skies. The hurricane season is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. And the people have no homes. The children are suffering. Remember, I know about 11% of our children were not even able to go and sit examinations. Damon Crawford rather spoke about it. How many of our students are not going to school, especially after this hurricane? A lot of them displaced. A lot of them cannot be accounted for. Our children are suffering. The single mothers, desperate, don't know what to do. Many still in darkness. And this is what Jamaica has become. And in all of this, our Jamaicans are willing to come together in our streets, not to call out the government, not to go live and to make an international appeal to the international communities about the human rights that are being breached in this country. That is not the outcry. The outcry is that Ishowspeed is in Jamaica. Let us go to downtown Kingston. Let us go live on TikTok because Ishowspeed is here. Shenzia has met with him at Devon House. She cook ackee and saltfish for him. I have no problem with Ishowspeed coming here. He should come again. Popcorn meet with him. Beanie Man, Sean Paul, Ding Dong, Valiant. All of these local celebrities. Bad Siki, One Supreme, all of them, Lindsay Machine, all of these content creators, all of these young people, this is what they care most about. Views and likes and entertainment, while our fellow Jamaicans don't have a roof over their heads. Not because of it's not a fault of theirs. A hurricane came, destroyed their homes. And the government has refused to assist the people of Jamaica. They have turned their Babsy Grange out there at National Stadium, Lana Marriott and Sister Stedman. Babsy Grange rather go out at the National Stadium and take picture and give baton to Ishowspeed. None of them now go up a Westmoreland. None of them now go to these places that are marooned. A lot of people still cannot be found. When last you see none of these politicians go over to the West? They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Look at the pressing issues. Flour gone up by what? 6%? Everything gone up in this country. Gas gone up. $18 billion expected to be collected out of taxes. This is what the government has done. The NHT will be raided again. This is what the government has done. The date that was given, the 8th of May. I'm hearing $120 for bag juice. Marcy granddaughter called last night and said never in her 14 years. I laughed. Could a cheese patty be for what? $400? Jamaica is literally suffering. We are experiencing recession. But in the midst of all of this, Jamaica, no problem. Jamaica, no problem. South ya man banana, me na left ya. You know how many persons are leaving here though? Our professionals, a lot of our teachers, a lot of our nurses, a lot of our doctors, the young professionals, they are leaving because there are no opportunities here. Yeah man, downtown Kingston was cleaned up because Ishowspeed was coming. We remembered Greek Jamaica. Good observation. So it's only when we have visitors coming, Jamaica can see some cleanliness. But the people have been crying about the dump up garbage. But the people over by NSWMA, remember a lot of them, not even qualified to hold the positions that they hold. Yet they are paid millions. There's no outcry against those type of nepotism and corruption, you know. But I hear Carol say Jamaica pure problem. My God. Help us, Lord. Help us, Lord. Let us pray. Mother's Day is tomorrow. Wishing all the mothers a happy Mother's Day from now. Tomorrow, we'll also wish you all a happy Mother's Day. Let us pray. Father, we give you thanks for your mercies and your grace. We give you thanks for another successful show tonight. So many pressing matters. When we look at what is happening in our country, it is clear that there are some persons who don't care. This is what Jamaica has become. The priorities are messed up. We're majoring in minor situations and issues, while a lot of our Jamaicans are suffering. Literally, many are hungry, many are starving, many without water, many without light. And while some Jamaicans are okay, there are those who have been left to suffer and to fend for themselves because it wasn't the JLP that brought the hurricane. While that may be so, this government has a responsibility to step up and to act. That is why we are paying billions of dollars in taxes, so that we can have suitable shelters, suitable holding areas, so that the people can have somewhere to stay, their children can have a place to stay until they get back on their feet. But because of politics, because of political affiliations, we've seen a total breakdown of love and compassion and care and of good governance being shown in this country. Lord, you cannot be pleased with what is happening in Jamaica. And that's why every day we pray and we ask for you to show up with this NARA. Lord, this cannot be something good for this country. The proof is there. We've went through it time and time again. Lord, if it is your will, shut it down. If it is your will for this thing to be shut down, to be shelved, do it. We see this government blatantly fighting against the rights of our citizens. They are looking to appeal the decision that the Supreme Court's made. A threat to the environment, a threat to people's health. Yet the government wants to bypass it anyway. Lord, it is not about orange or green. It's about what is right. The government is not doing what is right. Lord, if you don't intervene, they laughed at Peter Bunting when he asked for divine intervention. They may refuse to look to you, but we know that it is you who holds all the power. And we are looking to you, Lord, to intervene in this country. In the upper, you sit high and you look low. You rule and reign in the affairs of men. Intervene, Lord. Turn it around. Take some people out of parliament by one way or the other. I don't care what side the corruption is coming from. We're tired of it. Get rid of them. Enough is enough. The time has come for a change. A revolution is needed. For too long, the rich continues to get richer and the poor continues to get poorer. People born in poverty die in poverty. Not because they're not working hard, but because the rich continues to close the doors of opportunities on the less fortunate and the vulnerable. For we need you now more than ever before. Bless our mothers, the mothers, the grandmothers on the platform tonight. Tomorrow is a very special day for them. And I pray, Lord, that you will bless them, give them a sweet, sweet rest tonight as we look to celebrate our strong woman, our woman, our woman, our woman. That we've seen so many go out of their way to destroy, to kill, to abuse, to mistreat. But we are praying for our women, that even in this country we will see some respect for our women again. When we look at how some of our men are abusing our little girls and chopping up our women and doing all manner of evil. God Almighty, help us. But we're looking to you, the author and the finisher of our faith, knowing that you are able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we could ever ask or even think. Do it again, Lord. You've done it before. These are other mercies we ask of you. In Jesus' name. Let the people say amen, amen, and amen. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. Jesus now. Here's a little song. Here's a little song that dropped in my spirit. I'm going to sing it. I'm going to sing it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to sing this song. It's a beautiful song. Jesus now, more than ever, we are sailing in stormy weather. All his children must get together, for we need Jesus now more than ever. Jesus now. Yes, we need him. Perspective. More than ever. For we are sailing in stormy weather. All God's children must get together, for we need Jesus now more than ever. My God. We need him, you know. We need him, ladies and gentlemen. We need him. We need him. God bless you. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Perspective family. Big up yourself every time, Perry the General. Go and do it, comrade. The word is love. Where we are go do? Police them a kill off, use the tree on the roads. Where we are go do? The price gone up on the JLP let loose. Where we are go do? Times are hard and politicians don't have a clue. Where we are go do? Where we are go do? Aye, time for trust and keep the faith to help us win this race. Poor people now no food, all them see a empty plate. And the rich them getting richer, them fi burn up in the lake. Promises they make, but enough of them are fake. But black love divide, put politics aside. A time for we unite, a time for do the right. We have to start by speaking truth and not the lie. Perry set the trend, we have to unite. Pressure it a boil, farmers them a toil. And all our work them no see nothing at all. We can't segregate, we can't separate. Put aside the war, time for love not hate. Pressure it a boil, farmers them a toil. And all our work them no see nothing at all. We can't segregate, we can't separate. Put aside the war, time for love not hate. Hey. Wait, wait.
nation. What a sticky situation. All we see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing those in trust for people, I go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. Now war fit the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg is hamping. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. All we see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing those in trust for people, I go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. No war fit the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it. Corruption in the nation. What a sticky situation. All we see a degradation. Innocent men at the station. Andrew and his cronies getting richer, them a big done. Talking about them helping out the poor. Tell me which one. Juliet, a speaker of the house, me can't believe it. Them mashing the house in trust for people, I go feel it. The JLP, them satanic and demonic. No war fit the youth, them prosper only fit them pocket. I beg you stop it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,